Welcome. As we approach this joyous, holy day, let us reflect on the meaning of Easter as revealed in A Course in Miracles. Easter is described here as a powerful awakening to one's true nature. The resurrection is one's rebirth in spirit as spirit, and it is the means of undoing the obstacles that hide one's recognition of the true essence of everyone and everything. It is almost Easter, the time of resurrection. In A Course in Miracles, Easter is the symbol of resurrection. The resurrection is the arising of Christ awareness over the ego mind, not by judgment and attack, but through the recognition of truth. The crucifixion, on the other hand, is the symbol of the ego's attacks and its fearful beliefs in separate bodies, loss, lack, and suffering. According to Jesus, the crucifixion was merely an extreme example to teach one's invulnerability from any attack or destruction. One cannot ultimately be persecuted because only a body can be attacked. And no one is a body. He teaches the unlimited freedom of spirit. The resurrection demonstrates that there is no order of difficulty in forgiveness within a world of time and space. Thus, the resurrection undoes the apparent effects of the crucifixion made by the ego. The time of Easter is a time of joy and not of mourning. Joy is one's natural state, and it is in this peaceful aliveness that one becomes aware of when one is reborn in spirit. For there is no loss in love, and joy is but an aspect of love. Without the ego's beliefs in loss and lack, grief and grievances have no root to take hold of. Lilies are the symbols of forgiveness, and it is through the lilies of forgiveness that are offered to the world that one is freed from the ego grievances that have only served to crucify oneself. Offering the gift of lilies to another is the true gift of love that resurrects both them and oneself to each other's rightful place in purity and innocence. Thus, to resurrect is not to die, for nothing created by the eternal can be undone, but rather is to be reborn into the recognition of one's true nature as love itself. For Easter is the sign of peace, not pain. Easter is the sign of healing and wholeness. It is the recognition that what one thought was destroyed did not actually occur. And it is in this calmness and completeness, where fear has no place, that the still and quiet waters within are revealed. All beliefs in suffering and pain have been released. For what resides within eternal love cannot suffer. Only in the conflicted belief of oneself as a separated form can one suffer. And it is through one's own healing and the resulting happiness that follows that the resurrection of the world arises. This is my Eastertime, and I would keep it holy. I will not defend myself, because the Son of God needs no defense against the truth of his reality. It is in one's defenselessness that one's holiness lies. And planning one's day is a form of defense. One is being asked here to not attempt to shape the day for personal goals. The happiness and peace that one truly wants will come without the ego's planning. One must also avoid the temptation to become defensive in the face of unexpected situations that occur throughout the day. One need only follow instead the inner guidance of the Spirit of joy. What was created eternal needs no defense. Yet if one defends oneself, one is attacked by one's own belief that one is a vulnerable, separated self, which requires defending. One has but crucified oneself, and one appears to reside in fear and psychological suffering. For fear blocks the awareness of love's presence and opens one to the perceptions of loss, lack, and pain. This Easter I would have the gift of your forgiveness offered by you to me, and returned by me to you. Let today all of one's beliefs in blame and condemnation be offered to forgiveness for correction. And in the receiving of another's gift of forgiveness to oneself, one is freed to return this wondrous gift to them in gratitude and appreciation. One but shares the gifts of lilies, the symbols of mercy, replacing the sharp and pointed judgments and blame that one had offered before. For blame hurts, and the perception of unforgivable wrongdoing in another but attacks one's own wholeness and peace. Easter is not the celebration of the cost of sin, but of its end. Blame, judgment, and perceiving sin are upended through the recognition of the impossibility of loss of any kind. One has never really lost anyone or anything. As in a dream, nothing real was ever threatened. Everything becomes resurrected in one's awareness. Nothing has been taken away. One just stopped looking for it where it always could be found, residing within one's eternal, loving awareness. For what God created eternal cannot be destroyed. For Easter is the time of your salvation, along with mine. Salvation is the end of all fearful illusions and false ego beliefs. One is being saved from one's own lies and misunderstandings, which only serve to cause one pain. Believing that one is but a body hurts oneself as well as the other. For it is an offering and teaching to the other that is cold, empty, and sharp. Salvation is achieved through forgiveness, which is the relinquishment of one's personal judgments, and which prepares oneself for a new way of perceiving oneself and others, through the guidance of the voice for love. This Easter, look with different eyes upon your brother. Do not look today on the other as an empty shell of a body. See the perfection and inner essence, the innocence and holiness that speaks to their true identity, their love-created self that one shares with them. See them through eyes of appreciation and love, which reveals the light that eternally shines there. And this new way of seeing will bless both them and oneself. The song of Easter is the glad refrain, the Son of God was never crucified. How can one crucify what has eternal life? Appearances and dreams of loss and pain do not make them real. For love did not create sin and suffering, and therefore it cannot be. For nothing unreal actually exists. Let us therefore today sing a song of gratitude, which is written in one's heart, to that which is eternal and never ending. And through this song of praise, heaven is welcomed into one's awareness, and its radiant light rekindles the joy and wholeness in oneself. This is the way to heaven and to the peace of Easter, in which we join in glad awareness that the Son of God is risen from the past and has awakened to the present. Easter is the gateway to awakening to one's true self. Blame and judgment require a past, and it is this belief in time that has been released through the offering of the lilies of forgiveness. For one's Easter is now. One has been resurrected into the holy moment, which is ever present and unchanging. It is a recognition that occurs through one's inner vision, and not through the body's eyes. The Christ self, the true and only self, is awakened, and is able to perceive a world forgiven and transformed in love. Here resides the peace of God that one has sought after and long awaited for.